against Miami.
Boy, the crowd was booing. They clearly don't like Miami. Tennessee at Mississippi State. You cannot turn the ball over against Tennessee. You've got to make the balls run half-court offense. That means Jamont Gordon running the point cannot turn it over. And Jarvis Bernardo has got to control the lane. You cannot allow Tennessee easy shots at the rim.
A pit at UConn. A couple of years, UCLA has had its bid for a national championship denied by an SEC team. Go SEC by the numbers. Tennessee, the Volunteers of Bruce Pearl, #1 in the land in RPI. They're quick-paced offense, often starting to shoot it well. They force turnovers, and they've been exceptional thus far. Mississippi State, however, very quietly has improved. They have the best defense in the conference and one of the top shot blockers in the nation in Jarvis Bernardo. Not only those two, but Florida with all of those new baby Gators. And Kentucky, historically the dominant program in the SEC. They've struggled all year, but they have had the tough conference schedule, and now all of a sudden they're starting to play a little bit better. Kentucky 3-2 in the league. These are the standings, the top 3 in each division. Not sure if the SEC is necessarily going to get all 6 of these teams in the tournament right now. Might be a little bit of a down year from that perspective. Now, guys, I know what the RPI says, Tennessee's #1, and now we see what America says about who the #1 team in the SEC is, and right now, overwhelmingly, America believes it is Tennessee. 65% of the people saying that. The people say that. The RPI says that. What say you, Digger Phelps?
I say Mississippi State. I look at Mississippi State. The loss they had the other night in Arkansas with 22 turnovers is not characteristic of what that team really is. I look at them today to use the Kentucky blueprint when Patrick Patterson beat them up inside. Jamal Bradley scored the points outside. Jamont Gordon, as well as Charles Rode, they can be very physical, and I can see Mississippi State knocking off Tennessee today because they got the inside-outside balance where Tennessee just wants to shoot the threes. Yes, Lofton's back, but I don't think they're that good inside.
First of all, these kids are smart, aren't they?
You're referencing the sign that's somewhat sticking to two, Digger. There it is.
I think Tennessee is the best team in the conference, but I think the conference is way down from what it used to be. Tell me in the SEC, who's better than they were last year, or as good? How many teams? Like Kentucky's not better.
No.
Mississippi's better than they were last year, but just about everybody else is down. I think Tennessee's a little bit better. I don't think Tennessee would be the best team in the conference in the last few years. They're the best this year, and that shows why the RPI is an absolute joke. They say it's a tool, like it's a precision tool, all that stuff. It's not a tool, it's a crutch, and we need to get rid of it. It's past its prime. It's not useful anymore.
All right, so SEC right now, Hubert, you look at the way they've matched up against the other quote-unquote big conferences. They don't have a winning record against any of them, to back Jay's point.
Yeah, but, I mean, when you look at Tennessee, I think over the last couple of weeks, they've taken a different level. And I think the one reason is Chris Lofton. I mean, he is the difference maker, in my opinion, for Tennessee. He was struggling at the beginning of the year. The last 3 games, he's averaged 24 points a game, almost 53% from three-point range. He kind of reminds me of Drew Neitzel from Michigan State. When he hits shots, he just elevates this team's presence, and I think Tennessee right now is playing their best basketball.
As Digger continues to orchestrate the crowd, Billy Donovan did make one point about the SEC. He said, it may not be strong right now, but because the league is pretty young, in transition, that maybe late February and by March still could have some dangerous teams there. College Game Day rolling from Pauley Pavilion, where the crowd has greeted Digger. Great. There's ever a crowd in the history of college basketball that had a right to have expectations, and perhaps it just like USC based on that sign, it would be UCLA, 11 national championships, and certainly the legacy of John Wooden continues to be felt in this crowd, as you've seen. Recently, the Los Angeles Times.
Welcome back to College Game Day, driven by State Farm.
How's that up there?
the college basketball constituency on the West Coast. You've been able to vote on right now. You love to hear these guys pick games. Who would you like to see them pick a little bit later on today? Here are the 4 choices: Florida, Tennessee, UConn, Syracuse, Duke at North Carolina, UCLA at Washington State. And watch, Michigan and Ohio State. Ohio, the ultimate red state, and in Florida, always involved in elections, the Gators and Tennessee, 9 o'clock Eastern time. We've got the State Farm half-court. See if you can win some money. Brad, you should have been lined up and ready. Catch and shoot, baby. He lets it go. He got it off from behind the line, and he's not quite as strong as Kevin Love. He didn't get it there. Still $1,000 to the SEC, Tennessee and Mississippi State.
I think Jamar Gordon, the best player in the SEC, he's a difference maker. I got Mississippi State.
Charles Rowe beats him up inside. I'm going with Mississippi State, be the Kentucky game plan.
I like Mississippi State at home. I think that's going to be a really good game for them. They're going to have to slow it down, though.
We are 4 minutes away from Syracuse and Villanova. Who do you think wins it?
I got
a show across town against USC. See if he is able to do it tonight against UCLA on ESPN in prime time. We're back at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Another edition of College Game Day from Pauley Pavilion. For these guys, I'm Reese Davis. Time for Syracuse and Villanova now.
Welcome to College Game Day, driven by State Farm.
Excellence is the foundation for this ultimate pyramid of success and has been from the moment that the doors were opened in 1965 when the 2-time reigning national champion UCLA varsity lost to the Bruin freshman led by Lou Alcindor, who put a few more championships in the trophy case. Glad to have you with us. Hubert, Digger, and Jay, along with me, Reese Davis, and we are honored to be here at Pauley Pavilion. Guys, as you think around the country, the great venues, Fog Allen, Cameron Indoor, it's all a matter of personal preference. Championship legacy, Pauley is unparalleled.
There's no question. This is hallowed ground. And the one thing I've always thought about Pauley, you come in here and you look up at the rafters and you see only national championship banners. There's no Pac-10 banners, no Final Four banners, no retired jerseys. UCLA is all about national championships and national championships only. It's the only place in America that is like that.
And Pauley Pavilion is like Yankee Stadium. Their uniforms are like the pinstripe.
So far, now there are a lot of different ways to evaluate conferences, but as you go through the list, Hubert, which conference would you say is the toughest to go through and pull wins out of?
You know, I think it definitely has to be the Pac-10. I mean, you look at this conference, and they're going to get 6, possibly 7 teams in. I think a great example is that is California won it
in the Sweet 16.
Now, I'm not sure that you guys fired up the computer and voted often enough. You take a look at America's vote about who the fans believe has the strongest conference right now, and it is the ACC, and it's the Pac-10 bringing up the rear. I know why they think it is. They're going to start chanting East Coast bias.
That's East Coast bias.
But they're probably right on this. Like the Pac-10 years past hasn't been the best league. This year it is. Now the ACC is very, very good, and it's really good at the top with Duke and North Carolina. But no league, maybe with the exception of the Big East, has 13 good teams can compete with the Pac-10.
You can't name the 3rd and 4th team right now in the ACC when you look at, it's Duke and Carolina. Clemson's been struggling. You can't pick them. Georgia Tech's up and down. I can't find the 3rd and 4th team in the ACC compared to the Pac-10.
All right, how many, though, out of all these conferences, which conference strongest at the top in terms of maybe getting teams to the Elite Eight title?
And that's where you go to the ACC when you look at North Carolina and Duke.
As well, for instance, Digger's former father-in-law played his last concert here in Pauley Pavilion. Henry Mancini. Were you aware of that?
I didn't know that.
Just a little bit of
That's
trivia.
really good. That's X2, by the way.
Well, here
X2.
I didn't want to go down that road, but since you did, and here's another little bit of trivia for you, gentlemen. If you may cue the music for me, please. A little UCLA trivia. See what you know about your Bruin knowledge. Who is the all-time leading scorer at national championships? They have a great big man here right now in Kevin Love, and you see on the floor in front of us at Pauley, first program to 100. Intercollegiate athletics, no program in the country has won 100 NCAA championships except UCLA, and they've celebrated that. You've probably seen the C on the uniforms now in the gold color rather than in the standard blue. Now, probably much to Bill Walton's chagrin, the last couple of years UCLA has had its bid for a national championship denied by an SEC.
Auburn and Vanderbilt to Humphrey Coliseum in Starkville, Mississippi. 7th-ranked Tennessee taking out just underway here. Bob Rathman with Eddie Fogler.
Tennessee making it known already. Hard to get the ball inbounds. The 6'9" Chisholm on 6'2" Walker. Hard to get it over him.
Rhodes lays it out front. Now Barry Stewart. Gordon, top of the key three.
Well, he starts with a three. Little dribble handoff up for the three-point jumper. Jamont Gordon can do it all.
Chisholm. Back irons his three. Now the Bulldogs come the other way. Off the bounce, Stewart, 5-0. Smith penetrating. Picks up the loose ball on the wing. The Bulldogs allowing only 62 points a game. Number 1 in the SEC. Tennessee averages 85 points a game. Number 1 in the SEC. And number 5 nationally. Lofton. Shut off on that attempt. Good help by Gordon. Shot clock down to 3. Smith on the heave and the rebound. Controlled by Rhodes.
Great defensive possession by Mississippi State, and a poor shot by Jamont Gordon.
Early in the clock, Tennessee is able to get its running game going, but good recovery by the Bulldogs. Turner funneling it inside with a big shot blocker sitting there. Now it's Smith in the paint. Smith misses. Bulldogs board with Stewart. Nothing Mississippi State. Rhodes. Chisholm has him in single coverage and a whistle. Stewart launches. And we've got a hold.
Perimeter guarding the ball. It's going to be difficult for Tennessee to get looks inside with Bernardo. And so far, the best defensive team in the league is shutting down the best offensive team.
Well, the pace of the game really to Mississippi State's liking.
Absolutely.
Off the screen. Tyler Smith spinning. Tough shot, and he hits it.
Wow. How about that, Bob? A terrific shot by Tyler Smith. Very difficult. The transfer from Iowa, in my opinion, Tennessee's best all-around basketball player.
So the balls are on the board, 5-2, and a travel. Stewart lifting that pivot foot. And Tennessee will have it.
Bob, I love Tyler Smith. His numbers speak for themselves. If he was playing with 4 great players, he'd put those numbers up. If he was the best player on his team, he'd put the same numbers up. No ego, lets the game come to him.
Great penetration, but there is Bernardo. Stewart.
Well, Stewart gets 3, but what do you give Bernardo outside a block? You got to give him a 1.5, Bob.
Ramar Smith now on the wing. This is Juwan Smith to Lofton. Lamar comes back to set things up for Tennessee. 8-2, Bulldogs early. Lofton goes inside and had Fortunately, last touched by Mississippi State. Tears in that sequence.
Well, Stewart, Bernardo, and Gordon all from the state of Tennessee.
And a foul inside. And Bernardo gets his first. Half. Near steal. Prince has it. Kicks. The big man forced the turnover.
Well, we talked about
8-2 Bulldogs. Now Rhodes back to the basket, and we got a hand check on Cruz. Of course, rather new to the rotation here of late. He's back after the heart condition, so everything's checked out well, and this is his third game back. Gordon looks for an opening, throws that big body in, and commits an offensive foul. His first. Mississippi State off to an 8-2 lead here at the first TV timeout of the night. Time for our Southeast Toyota trivia question. Tennessee's Chris Lofton is the SEC's all-time leader in three-point field goals made. Who is number 2 on the all-time list? We'll have the answer a little bit later for you.
You know, Bob, Bernardo averages 7 points a game. If you could put a point total into his 6 blocks per game, lead the SEC in scoring.
And violations against the opposition. Yeah, 3-second violations and travels inside.
Oh, boy.
They got inside, but that time it was Stewart from behind.
Well, Mississippi State 2-3 zone. Nice high look pass by Tyler Smith, but the block by Mississippi State, the best shot blocking team in the conference.
Number 2 in the country to Connecticut. Gordon off the curl, lines it up. Tennessee looking to push and leaking out is Smith, and Juwan lays it home.
Smart play by Juwan Smith. He challenges the outside shot by Gordon. Anytime you leave your feet, Bob, and challenge an outside shot, you can always take off and go down the court, is what he did. And now this gives Tennessee a chance to set up its full court press.
Chisholm back in. Jordan Howell is also in for Tennessee. Javon Gordon averages about 33 minutes a game. His numbers better in conference play than overall this season. The Bulldogs leading scorer at just under 18 a game. Here's Charles Rhodes. Much better at home than on the road, but missed this one. Rebound follow. No good by Bernardo. Chisholm goes down in the heap, and it's out of bounds to Tennessee.
Tennessee in its flex. Chisholm way outside. The offensive Tennessee will negate the Bernardo factor to some degree because Tennessee's bigs play outside the three-point line in their flex offense.
But what he does do when he's on the floor, Eddie, he takes away any notion of going inside.
Well, I think, Bob, you go inside, you kick it back out. You don't challenge him.
Prince, an off-balance runner, is rebounded by the Bulldogs and Phil Turner. Good pick off on the wing by Lofton. Controls the dribble. Fires and hits. That's a 3 for Lofton.
Well, the turnovers gets him in transition, negates the Bernardo factor. Tennessee coming up with a big steal, and Lofton off to a nice start.
The crowd booing, but Lofton, his hand never went under the ball at steal and high dribble.
Well,
Bulldogs are going to make wholesale substitutions here.
What I was going to say is the Vols are number 1 in the SEC in steals, number 2 overall nationally, and that fuels their offensive runs.
Just under 14 to play in the first half. Javon Gordon. Good help on the screen by Chisholm. Gordon drives. And the rebound to Tennessee. Ryan Williams. Volunteers come 5-on-4. Howell drives it off the glass. No. Williams rebounds. Loose ball. Out of bounds to miss a traveling violation. Riley Beanock with it now for the Bulldogs. An 8-7 lead. It was 8-2. Gordon handing it over. Bailey. Good effort on the boards and a foul on Mississippi State. This is going to be on Brian Johnson. Boy, what a battle inside.
I'm not sure about that. I thought Johnson had the ball.
It's a chance to take the lead. Howell. And we've got a foul on the volunteer. Now the Tennessee press is coming, and Mississippi State beats it. In the middle, Beanock on the wing. Johnson cross courts to Beanock.
J.P. Prince at 6'7", long arms, now guarding Jamont Gordon.
Follow. Skying for it is Rayburn Johnson.
Well, the rebound comes off. No one near Johnson. Easy flush.
10-7, Bulldogs. Lofton. Now Chisholm. Chris comes to get it. Shot clock is down to 14. Lofton trying to create. Goes in. That's deflected. Out to Chisholm. Shot clock continues to run as that ball never hit the rim. Down to 2. Got it. Lofton with a huge 3.
Clock running down. Fade away. He likes to fade. And Chris Lofton's back. Bob Rathburn.
Tied at 10. Johnson. Off balance. Missed it. Ripping down the rebound and a foul. Comes the pressure of high expectations.
Well, I mean, I think this year you should expect us to compete for the championship. Our first year, we were first here, and I don't think you'd expect that, and we did. And then last year, we were very young. You shouldn't have expected it, yet we did. This year, I think our roster is deep, and I think we've got some good senior guards, and I think this year we are picked there, and we should compete for it. Whether or not we will, that's why you play the season.
Bruce Pearl inherited a program that had not been ranked in more than 4 years, and earlier this season, the highest ranking in school history at number 3. Tennessee comes in number 7 in the country this week.
Well, I like Bruce Pearl for a lot of reasons, and one of them is Bob. He tells it like it is. Very honest, very upfront. Most coaches don't want the pressure put on them, don't say they should win championships, and Bruce Pearl thinks his team's that good.
33% foul shooter, splits the pair. Mississippi State back on top, 11-10. Bob Rathbun, Eddie Fogler with you from Starkville. This has a feel of a big game, a tournament-type game.
Absolutely, and Bob, the tempo is favoring Mississippi State. Low-scoring, half-court game for the most part, letting their terrific defense play a big part so far.
And Tyler Smith knocking down a huge 3. 13-11 Tennessee. When it was 8-2, Mississippi State had everything going their way, but give Tennessee credit. They hung in there with a slower paced game, and now they've got a 2-point lead. Out of bounds, Tennessee ball.
They're one of the few teams who play on the road like they play at home. They play the same way. 5-1 on the road this year. Wins at Xavier, beat Gonzaga out in Washington, beat Alabama Wednesday night. There's no panic in this Tennessee team.
A brief rest for Jamont. Lost by 20. That snapped a 9-game winning streak. A 13-11 lead for the visitors in orange. Tyler Smith, another 3.
Well, he is the best all-around player, Bob, and yet the part of his game that needs work is three-point shooting. Only 35% from 3, but only took 23 so far this year. 2 in a row.
Juwan Smith with his first. Tennessee again sets up the pressure. And Jamont Gordon calmly brings it over. Does it all. Leader in assists, scoring, and rebounds at over 6 a game. Great size and strength up top. Take a look at the Tennessee threes. Lofton's hit 2. Tyler Smith is hit 2. As a club, Tennessee has hit 4 of its last 5 after missing their first 3.
Possession, you're doing my math, which may not go well on the air, but I assure you that's the case.
16-13. The Tennessee lead is at 3. Off the curl, Smith, double dribble.
Absolutely making some tough threes, Bob. It'll be interesting to see if they can continue making those shots.
Here's Gordon, driving it to the hole and had it stripped out of his hands by Ramar Smith.
Strip for them on Jamont Gordon.
Working off the road screen. Kick out to Turner. Penetration. And up and in. Count the basket and a blocking foul on.
Rick Stansbury had to go to more of a guard lineup, and Phil Turner got a lot of good minutes while Rhodes was hurt.
Phil averages playing 21 minutes a night. Held ball, arrowed to Tennessee.
And now, Bob, with Ben Hansbrough out.
Ben's been up against it. Had the broken middle finger in his left hand. Now he's out with mono. 16-15 Tennessee.
You could see how patient Tennessee has to be against this Mississippi State now 2-3 zone.
Prince takes it to the hole and jams it. And a technical foul for hanging on the rim. Bernardo got hung up on a switch inside, and Prince was able to take it to the rim. Then he gets a tee.
They call him for hanging on the rim, Bob. You can chin the rim and hang to protect yourself. If there's a defensive player under you, you can hang on the rim to protect yourself, and it's judged by the officials that he just hung on the rim for a technical foul.
Mississippi State struggling with its free throws.
Different defender by the Vols on Jamont Gordon.
Gordon trying to turn that corner. Stewart, tough shot and nails it. That's his second 3. And it's 19-18. Mississippi State by 1.
Chisholm way outside with Rhodes way above the three-point line. Tennessee again inverts bigs and littles.
Cruz on the block, goes up, got that one around the big man, Bernardo. Nice post move by Duke Cruz.
Outstanding left hand as well.
20-19. Stewart lobs it in. Bernardo got bumped, no whistle. And here come the Vols the other way with Smith. Scoop to the hoop is good. Ramar Smith puts it down. 22-19. Turner spins, finds himself wide open. Under 8 to play, first half. Tennessee by 3 and losing the dribble, Ramar Smith. Rhodes, Gordon thought about it. They've done a great job cutting off his penetration.
A lot of switching on to Gordon, coming off ball screens, making sure he doesn't get an angle to the basket.
Rhodes lost it on takeoff, gets it back. Back iron, no. Cruz boards. Lofton for 3. Got it. Chris Lofton. His first and only visit to Starkville as a sophomore. He scored 8. That gives him 9 tonight. 25-19 Tennessee. Bulldogs could use a hoop. Crowd's out of the game. Gordon tries to deliver, but good D coming up by Tennessee. Here's Rhodes. Got it.
Big shot, as you said, Bob. They needed a hoop. It's right inside the three-point line. If I'm Bruce Pearl, I'm not unhappy with that shot, however. Both teams look a little tired right here.
Yeah, 5 subs, 2 for the Bulldogs, 3 for the Vols waiting at the table. And we're due a TV timeout as well. Ramar Smith taking his time. Shot clock at 10. Tab feeds it inside. They get it to Lofton. And we've got a hand check coming on Barry Stewart. He was right in his shirt. A timeout. We'll hear from Tennessee's Bruce Pearl. And don't forget about Sunday Night Hoops. It'll feature the Tar Heels of North Florida State Seminoles. That's actually Sunday afternoon hoops tomorrow on Super Bowl Sunday. Bob Rathbun, Eddie Fogler with you in Starkville. And the kind of game that Rick Stansbury wanted.
Absolutely.
Control in the half court, but his club's trailing by 4.
Well, Tennessee has made the threes, Bob, with the clock running down. 2 by Lofton. Tyler Smith, who's only taken 23s all year, hit 2 in a row, uncharacteristically for Tyler Smith. So they're up, but Mississippi State has them in a game that Mississippi State likes.
Stephen Pearl in for the Vols. Gives on the bounce to Lofton. A little bit of daylight is all he needs. Howell crashes to get the rebound. Bruce Pearl, knowing also in the back of his mind with this group on the floor, he's got another TV timeout coming in a couple of minutes.
Well, he's got 4 reserves on the court right now. Lofton, the only starter for Tennessee, now playing.
Nice crossover. Hook to the corner. Howell brings it up top. 10 on the shot clock. Howell off the glass. Nope. Rebound Prince. And he's fouled as he cuts into the lane. Quick inside. Knocked away by the Bulldogs. (25-21). Tennessee has out-rebounded Mississippi State so far 14-10. 25-23. 5-10 first half. Prince gets inside. Chisholm had it blocked and a foul. If it's on Bernardo, it's Bulldogs with 5 total blocks. Gordon. Good tight defense applied by Tennessee and Tab. Here's Rhodes against Chisholm. Howell flies it to the wing. Tab lines it up and it's blocked. Rhodes got it up top. Howell fires and hits a big 3.
Great effort by Charles Rhodes. He blocks one in the corner and he almost gets Howells at the top of the key.
Tennessee by 5. Tennessee's done a good job keeping a fresh defender on Gordon. Now we've got an illegal screen on Rhodes.
Williams getting a lot of playing time here in the first half. Talented freshman from New York City.
Lofton. Chris. Here's Chisholm taking a 3 and making a 3. Everybody getting into the act tonight for Tennessee.
Ball screen for Lofton. He flares out from 3.
Tennessee 6 for 7 for 13 now in the first half from 3-point range.
And going against the #1 3-point defensive team in the SEC in Mississippi State.
Rick Stansbury stands 1 victory away from 200 career wins as he celebrates 10 years in Starkville.
We'll have fun.
Mississippi State has really needed his free throws.
Absolutely, and Tennessee, Bob, has taken 27 shots, 13 from 3, but they have only shot 1 free throw. Tennessee not getting to the foul line, shooting the 3-point shot.
Lofton in on Stewart. Couldn't get a shot away. Stewart's played really well defensively, but Lofton, such a quick release. Off the mark on this one. And the Bulldogs rebound with Brian Johnson. Here's Gordon looking for an opportunity. Takes it up strong. Bodies crashing everywhere. And a foul on 31-25 Tennessee.
If I'm Tennessee without Bernardo, I look to go inside if I can, try to get a foul or get to the foul line.
Chisholm Three-pointer for Tennessee. Wayne Chisholm's second home run shot. 34-25, Vol's biggest lead.
They shoot the three, the bigs for Tennessee and the bigs for Mississippi State, not used to playing on the perimeter defensively that far away from the basket.
Nice drive to the basket. Good recovery by Brian Johnson. He gathered himself, saw the opening, and dunked it. 34-27. Trying to go inside the lead. This one set by Brian Johnson up top. You know, a lot of times big guys get caught, Eddie, because on the screen, if you've got the ball, you
tough Eagle screen with his feet set, Bob. And Mississippi State starting to use the high post ball screen in almost every possession.
34-27 Tennessee. Bulldogs with 1:25 remaining in the half, trailing 7. Gordon looking to drive, kicks to the corner. Air ball rebounded by Chisholm. Lofton, fake and fire. That rims out. Loose ball picked up by the Dogs. Here's Rhodes. Again in the corner, Johnson tries it again. This time a two-pointer. Great rebound and a hell ball. And off the inbounds. Tennessee has it. Over to Smith. And a rejection. Charles. Here's Prince. Bulldogs have now blocked 8 shots, and Rhodes has 3 of them. 34-27. Tennessee with 10 on the shot clock. Prince goes up, and that's knocked out of there, but this time a goaltend. Give Prince the basket.
And that shot, Bob, was not going in. And Mississippi State gets up there and touches the ball. No way that ball's going in.
Game has controlled it. Timeout, Bulldogs with 12.2.
And who for Mississippi State tries to make it happen with Gordon on the bench.
I mean, this is a tough place to play.
It's very tough, Bob. I'm blown away by their depth. We look out here now, you've got three subs on the court. They just come at you. They come at you. 11 guys, I believe, have already played this half for Tennessee. Might even be 12 with Stephen Pearl getting in.
Seemingly no drop-off in talent or intensity when they go to the bench. Stewart up top.
Tennessee coming out. Looks like a little zone for the first time, Bob. First time maybe in a couple games.
Inside Rhodes. And it's out of bounds. The Vols will have it with 1.8. Now Tennessee will take a timeout.
Johnson now late going to the ball, however.
Williams on the bounce. A pretty good look for 3, but wide on the Juwan Smith attempt. A rather quiet house, Humphrey Coliseum, as the visitors from Knoxville have come to town and forged a 9-point advantage at the break. Tennessee and Mississippi State, 2 SEC heavyweights, toe-to-toe on SEC Saturday Night Hoops. We welcome you back to Starkville, Mississippi. We're at the half on SEC Saturday Night Hoops with Tennessee, the 7th-ranked team in the country, and a chance to take over sole possession of first in the East, leading by 9 here at the break. Of course, the focal point of the Bulldog attack is their talented man out front, Jamon Gordon. And I'll tell you, Eddie, this hit a 3. He did not have another basket.
Well, simply put, Bob, he's 1 of 5 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3. And with Jamon Gordon only scoring 4 points, Mississippi State has no chance to beat an outstanding Tennessee team.
And Gordon is such a big key. I thought Tennessee did a wise thing. They kept a fresh body on Gordon, rotating 3 different defenders in the first half.
Fresh bodies, strong bodies, Bob. They're not quite as strong as Gordon, but they can body him up some, and they do a lot of switching on the perimeter to make sure they keep him in front where he doesn't get an angle to attack the basket.
We spoke with his head coach, Rick Stansbury. He knows what a special player he has in Gordon. Here. Welcome back to the Chevy halftime report. Tennessee leading Mississippi State 36-27. Bob Rathbun and Eddie Fogler back with you here in Starkville. Of course, a very busy Saturday in the SEC. And let's go around the league and check out some of the finals. Kentucky won today. Point that you made, Eddie, at the top of our telecast today. A half-court game to Mississippi State's liking. But I don't believe the Bulldogs can win this game unless they get Jamon Gordon going offensively. What adjustments can they make in that regard?
Well, Bob, he is struggling on the perimeter due to two things: a physical defensive presence by 3 defenders, and people are switching to him. I would look to post him up some, maybe take advantage of his size versus the smaller Tennessee guards. Get him inside, post him up, see if he can get an easy basket or get to the foul line. But they need to do something differently. What they're doing now is not going to work.
Tennessee, the way that three-point shot is going for them, they don't need to make any adjustments. Just hope it keeps dropping.
Well, only one free throw, I believe. But, yeah, the three-pointers, Bruce Pearl told us here today, they would have to shoot the ball well. And in fairness to Mississippi State, a number of those shots, though, were pretty contested shots in the half-court defense of the outstanding half-court defense of Mississippi State. I'm not so sure they'll be able to be as effective in the second half with their three-point shooting. I still look for Tennessee to turn up the heat defensively. They've had 9 turnovers on Mississippi State to see if they can still get some easy baskets and use their depth. Mississippi State looked tired to me at the end of the half.
Now let's take a look at our Polaris halftime stats, and you see the shooting percentage. Now keep in mind the Bulldogs are at 36% field goal percentage defense. Tennessee comes in here and shoots 44.
Well, and 8 of 16 from 3, Bob. That's 24 points and 16 shots. That's great offense by shooting 50% from 3. They're not getting to the foul line. That's okay. But look at the blocks by Mississippi State. 8 blocks, but they're not getting good shots in the half court either. They've got to, again, do something different for Gordon. I'd also look to post Charles Rhodes up lower than the medium-high post where he was catching the ball in the first half. Get him inside.
We'll see how it plays out. Second half straight ahead. Tennessee 36, Mississippi State 27 on SEC 7. College basketball on FSN South is brought to you by BC Powder. Tennessee 36, Mississippi State 27. Just about ready to begin the second half here in Starkville at Humphrey Coliseum, where the Bulldogs have not lost a conference game this season. In fact, they've won 7 straight SEC games in this series in the SEC. Now, you see the coaches. Rick Stansbury for Mississippi State. Bruce Pearl for Tennessee wearing tennis shoes today. Part of the Coaches versus Cancer raising awareness around the country in college basketball today. And a great effort on behalf of coaches nationwide.
What a wonderful idea, Bob. And every coach in America at every level, the college level, wearing
the second half. If you're Mississippi State, not only do you have to get your offense going, but you've got to get this crowd back in the game.
Right, Bob. They could use a 3 or 2 would help, but getting Gordon off is the most important thing. Nice, easy 3-point open shot would be great. And by the way, Bernardo and Gordon have 2 fouls. They cannot pick up a 3rd foul early in this half.
Loose ball. Controlled by Mississippi State. Here's Stewart. In front to Gordon. So a turnover. Gordon tries to drive. He pushed off. Yep, he did. And that's his 3rd. Jamon Gordon trying to drive the ball on the State possession. Picks up number 3.
Well, he goes right. Good angle. Right call. And now Rick Stansbury has a decision to make here. 3 fouls on Gordon. He will keep him on the court. I think, Bob, he would start him if he had 3 fouls in the first half. But now Gordon's got to be extremely careful on the defensive end of the court.
36-27 Tennessee. Tyler Smith had 2 big threes in that first half. Lofton continues his great shooting of late. He's had 3 straight 20-point games.
Juwan Smith very quiet in the first half, capable at any time of getting off, particularly from 3.
Duke Cruz starting the second half for the Volunteers. Shot clock at 6. Here's Juwan lifting up for 3 and short. Rebound. Cruz got a hand on it. Thrown away and picked up by Rhodes. Gordon inside.
I thought that ball was going out of bounds, and he just quickly jumps up, grabs, and dunks.
And up fake by Tyler Smith. His runner is short. Out of bounds to Tennessee. Inside on the out-of-bounds play, Juwan Smith gets a layup. Here's Gordon flying it over to Turner. Long on the 3 ball. Now Juwan ahead to Lamar Smith. Juwan inside the ring, nails it. And a timeout for the Bulldogs as Tennessee takes the lead back to 11.
Out of bounds underneath. Screen the screener, easy basket.
Timeout in Starkville. Tennessee 40, Mississippi State 29, and you see it happen so often. You give up a layup on an out-of-bounds play. The basketball gods really frown on that.
Well, you give up an easy one on an out-of-bounds play, Bob. Then you come down, take a quick shot that misses. Then the other team comes back with a wide-open 3, and boom, boom, boom. You're in trouble. Every possession's important. That's the point. Every possession.
Gordon brings it up. Playing with 3 fouls.
Got to worry about not charging here, Bob. Tennessee's going to be looking to take the charge if he drives to the basket.
Now, the point you made, posting Gordon.
Inbounds versus Tennessee.
Mississippi State gets it in. Rhodes. Now to Gordon. Inside, Rhodes, nice pivot.
And he catches the ball, Bob, at the low post, not the medium-high post where he can attack the rim.
40-31. The Tennessee lead is 9. Smith. That's a 3. Juwan Smith's first 3-pointer. He's the 9th leading 3-point shooter in the conference. And the foul on Lamar Smith. Number 1 on Lamar.
And Tyler Smith, your power forward, who has 74 assists and only 38 turnovers. The simple, easy pass to the wide-open Juwan Smith for 3.
And we've got an offensive foul on Barry Stewart. (43-31). Did he push him, Eddie? That's what I want to see on the replay. And I think that's what Joe Lindsey may have seen, that forearm with the push.
Well, we're on the other side with a bad angle. Hard for us to tell, Bob. It looked like the defender was moving. I could not see whether he extended his arm.
43-31 Tennessee. Prince inside Chisholm. Missed the bank. Out of bounds.
Tennessee backing off the pressure here for the first time in a while.
Tennessee +7 on the glass. Rhodes had it knocked away in a steal. Here comes Lofton. Chris Lofton in double figures with 11. Tennessee keeps lengthening the lead, Eddie. Out to 14 now.
Turnovers versus Tennessee equal layup for Tennessee.
Bernardo. And we've got a whistle and a foul on the Volunteers, and this will be against Tyler Smith, I believe. Where is it? It is Tyler Smith. Desperate need of some offense. And we've got a hold on Lofton. His man was breaking to the basket. Stewart, the trigger man, underneath. Now to Gordon in the corner. Jamont drives in and has his arms taken off. Rebound to Prince. 45-32 Volunteers. Howell for three. In and out. Rebound Turner. Here's Gordon. Attacking. Stewart baseline. They go back inside, and Rhodes is fouled. Many different ways to lead. Here's how Chris Lofton gets it done for the Volunteers.
I think I lead better by example. I'm not really a talkative person. I think that, we got some people on our team that'll talk. Some other leaders like, Jordan and Juwan, they talk a lot more than I do. But then again, I'm speaking a lot more than I've done in the past. But still, I think that, that's their role to speak. I think I lead by example in the stuff I do. I feel like, if I'm going hard, that, most of the team will go hard.
When he hits a three, you can hear Chris Lofton from Memphis to Bristol.
Absolutely, Bob. His play speaks for itself, and what a nice, polite young man.
Now Charles Rhodes to the line. And the rebound to Wayne Chisholm. Tennessee did not panic at the start of the game when it was 8-2 Mississippi State. Cruz denied. Bulldogs trailing 12. Kick out. Turner. Big psychological boost if they can get it into single digits here, but that shot by Rhodes inside the arc and off the mark. And now it's Howell controlling for Tennessee. Kudos to Tennessee. They can play fast, they can play slow. A 12-point lead here and a held ball. The arrow will go to the Bulldogs. Definitely in Tennessee's favor.
Absolutely, Bob. From three-point land offensively and doing the job on Jamont Gordon defensively puts them in good position.
Bernardo can't save it.
And there's an example of having your big 25, 30 feet out away from the basket. Why throw the ball to Jarvis Bernardo that far away? He should be inside.
Prince spins middle. Back up top, Chisholm. Missed the three. Gordon back to rebound. Looking. Prince got over. That's a blocking foul.
In this basketball game.
And that was a missed front end by Brian Williams. Jamont front end of a 1-and-1. Gordon Howell's second three. 15-point lead. Gordon for three. Rhodes inside. Scores it. Mississippi State getting a hoop, but they trade three for two. That's not a good thing. Prince on the reverse off the glass.
Great bounce pass to the cutting Prince by Howell. The acrobatic reverse.
Back to a 15-point lead with 13:20 to play. Here's Gordon kicking it out. Turner back to the basket. Now fires and hits. So Rhodes ready. Rhodes now with 15. 50-37.
Mississippi State needs some stops. Alternating baskets will not help Mississippi State.
Nice cut inside. The ball off the rim for Tyler Smith, but he comes back to get it. Now Tyler going baseline. And a big collision, foul Tennessee.
Layup does a great job gathering it back in and then just puts his head down and charges going to the basket.
So we'll mark the time and score when Tyler gets that fourth foul. 13-point lead and 12 and a half to play. Williams is in for Tennessee. SEC Saturday night from Starkville. Rick Stansbury wants some motion and some movement from his Bulldogs. Shot clock under 10. And hold everything. We got a push on the screener. It's going to be on Chisholm. Or is it? No, it's on Gordon. Gordon got in too quickly. Guys on the line have to wait for the ball to come out of the free throw shooter's hand. 50-38. Juwan Smith, the three, no. Pounds it inside, but Williams backs it out. Tennessee wisely using a little clock here. Taking their time, up by a dozen. Smith spinning to the hole, and a foul on Mississippi State. A timeout comes with 11:37 to play. Volunteers in control on the road. Rathman back in Starkville. Tennessee led this game by 9 at halftime. It's a 12-point game now. You've got Gordon sitting on 3 fouls. Mississippi State has to change the flavor of this game. How best do they go about doing it to make a run at Tennessee?
I still think, Bob, they've got to isolate Gordon more in a low post situation to get him started. I also would extend out the pressure a little bit more to see if I could get some steals and some easy baskets, because they're not getting it done in their half-court offense right now.
It's often said, as Smith hits the first free throw, Juwan now with 10 points, it's often said the teams that like to press do not like to be pressed.
Well, there's a lot of truth to that, and I would think, I've seen Mississippi State press, I would think they would come out with a surprise press before too long, particularly after a made free throw.
Rebound to Elgin Bailey. 51-38 Tennessee. Gordon kicks. Now Bailey, it's an and one. Elgin Bailey gets the bucket and a foul on the free throw. Juwan Smith claims it for the Volunteers. Here's Lofton. Phoenix right up on him.
Bernardo out of the game, has not been a factor here in the second half. See if Tennessee can get it inside some.
They go to Chisholm, and he's pushed off the play by Bailey. Elgin second.
Rhodes and Bernardo on the bench. Good time for Tennessee to attack inside.
It was a lane violation. That's why he's getting another free throw.
I didn't get it until you did the math for me. Distance. You know, maybe you ought to move back 3 feet.
I go all the way back to the top of the circle. So Wayne splits the pair. It's 52-40. And that's off the leg of the Bulldogs. Johnson. There's that press we were talking about.
On free throws, much more effective than on made field goals. Easier to get your press set.
Juwan Smith has to come to the corner to put it in. Williams runs in to Stewart, and Barry with a takeaway. Ahead on the fly, the lay is good. Count the basket, and he gets the free throw. 5 for Rayburn, and now it's a 9-point game. And psychologically, this crowd feels they're back in it. You get it into single digits, it does wonders for you. Prince, and a blocking foul. Barry Stewart with his second.
And the Bulldogs, who generally contain with their defense, go for the steal, miss it, trying to get an easy one, and Prince explodes to the goal.
When you go for that steal and you don't get it, it just throws the rest of the defenders off, and Prince took advantage.
Well, it makes it 5 offensive players versus 4 defenders when you overrun and miss trying to steal the basketball.
Prince. Follow is good. Williams on the stick back. And just like that, Tennessee goes back to a 12-point lead. Now Williams fouls in the backcourt, and Mississippi State will be shooting 2 free throws now on Est. And I believe it's on Bailey. Yes, Elgin Bailey.
Well, that was on the free throw.
So Bailey with his 3rd foul. And Lofton will go to the line.
These are gimmies right here. When Lofton gets to the free throw line, each basically put these in the scorebook.
So Lofton hits the 2 free throws. Rick Stansbury trying to get an explanation from Joe Lindsey. He had to say something since they were lined up for the foul shot. Now it's Barry Stewart's 2nd opportunity.
I don't know if I've ever seen one, Bob, on a free throw.
Got a referee right at their front of their bench, but I agree with you. I rarely have seen that, if ever, in a college game. 10-15 left. Prince rejected by Rhodes. And a sub coming in. It'll be Phil Turner taking Rayburn Johnson. Gordon back in, and Beanock goes out.
10 blocks for Mississippi State. Unbelievable.
Lofton. Big 3. A cold-blooded 3 in Starkville. His 4th three-pointer tonight. 60-44. Boy, when Rayburn Johnson hit that 3-point play, the crowd was back into it, and Tennessee just goes about its business, very calmly takes care of things, and build the lead to 16.
For the Volunteers, foul 30 Prince.
Foul is on Prince, his 3rd. 11 for 23 from outside the arc for the Volunteers. Lofton has been incredible in his career in the SEC on the road, a 47% three-point shooter.
Typically, it's the other way around. Most players.
1 for 2 for Bernardo. 60-45 Volunteers. Here's Prince. Now Ramar Smith. 60-45 Tennessee. And off the bounce. Good defense. And Smith lost it. Gordon brings it up. And with this kind of a deficit and without a 3-ball to speak of, every possession crucial now for the Bulldogs. And this one is thrown in the backcourt, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Prince.
Well, it's pretty obvious here with Gordon taken out, Bob, that either Turner or Stewart, particularly Stewart, who's a capable 3-point shooter, maybe steps up or bring Beanock off the bench, although he has not played a lot tonight, a very good shooter. Someone else besides Gordon on the perimeter is going to have to make threes, and I certainly would continue to look inside to Charles Rhodes. Get him to the foul line. Shooting 2 now. 15
turnovers for the Bulldogs. Keep in mind, Tennessee forces about 20 a game. From the wing, Stewart gets his own miss.
Tennessee in his zone. I've seen a lot of Tennessee basketball. I hardly ever see them play zone.
Loose underneath, saved inside by the Bulldogs. That shot blocked. Prince got that one, and it's out of bounds to Tennessee. Turner had nowhere to go.
Well, it's been a struggle all night for Mississippi State. The best defensive team in the league, seeing a pretty darn good defense by the Tennessee Volunteers here today.
Mississippi State shooting 40% from the field. Smith missing the jam follow is Cruz, but Tennessee gets another chance. Here's Prince to Cruz, and that's going to be taken away by Turner, a held ball, and the arrow goes to the Volunteers. 8:23 remaining.
Still enough time here, Bob, that Mississippi State's going to have to start getting some easy ones off of steals or the break and hitting some threes as well in the half court. Chip away at it.
To the wing, and Prince. Swing it down. Josh Tabb is back in the ball game, number 25. Prince driving. Prince just threw it up off the glass and missed it. We're going to foul.
Tears with all the three-point shooting and the long rebounds. Their guards have tracked down a number of long rebounds. And on the boards, sometimes when you're not shooting it particularly well, second opportunities, Bob, lead to points. 16-5.
Prince clearing to Amar Smith. Tennessee lead stays at 15. And a foul on the cutter. This one's going to be charged against Bill Turner of Mississippi State. A timeout with 7:50 to play. Volunteers up 15. We are back at Starkville, 60-45, Tennessee leading Mississippi State. Earlier tonight, we asked our Southeast Toyota trivia question. Tennessee's Chris Lofton is the SEC's all-time leader in three-point field goals made. Who is second? I'll tell you what, Eddie, let's go to the phones. We've got a caller on the line. Caller, do you have the correct answer?
I think so. I've been reading up on the record book. Is it Pat Bradley? Kid, guy played so long ago, probably nobody even remembers he played.
That is correct. And, of course, this is Pat Bradley on the other end of the line. Pat, this is great. Thanks for calling in.
It's a pleasure, Coach. How you doing?
Pat, I'm doing great. What'd you get, 35 in Fayetteville one night against my team?
I think it was, well, you know what it was? You guys always came with so many good players. Of course, you know, B.J. Mackey and Melvin Watson. You know, Coach Richardson made sure if there's any game for us to get up for, it was the South Carolina games for sure.
Well, that wasn't fair on Coach Richardson's part. Now, where are you living now, Pat?
Actually, I'm living in Little Rock. Got to do a little sports talk radio show. I co-host a sports talk radio show here in Little Rock. So they've accepted me. You know, I'm a foreign. I'm from Boston, so they've accepted me down here in the South. Heaven. You know, I think I belong down here in the South. It's slow enough for me, and the food is great.
Well, you haven't lost your accent. You were a great credit to the University of Arkansas. Thanks for joining us, Pat.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Pat, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Bob.
Pat Bradley joining us on the phone. The man that Chris Lofton passed in the SEC analyst for most career threes.
And I wasn't kidding, Bob. I think he had 35 one time against my South Carolina team in a great game down in Fayetteville that Arkansas won.
62-45 Tennessee. Turner for three. And skying to get the rebound is Josh Tabb.
You know, Bob, even if Rhodes and Gordon played very well here tonight, the periphery guys, the other guys had to have good games, and they're struggling also.
Bulldogs came into this one with such high hopes. They wanted to get the bad taste out of their mouths from Wednesday in the defeat at Arkansas. But Tennessee has controlled this baby practically from the start. Now we got a foul coming on Tabb.
They're so deep. Fourth foul on Tyler Smith. You take maybe your most versatile player out of the game. Most coaches go, oh my gosh, and they just bring in somebody else, and they got great depth, and Bruce Pearl does an unbelievable job of managing his personnel and getting guys their minutes.
And there's no drop-off when they go to the bench, and that's why I think so many observers around the country really like this Tennessee team to make a big run in the NCAA tournament, because they can adapt to practically any style of play.
Absolutely, they can adapt, and they also can will their own style for the most part on you. And the three-point shooting from so many different positions makes them almost impossible to guard. Their style of play is different. Most teams don't see this kind of pressing style with 5 shooters. Tough matchup. They could beat anybody. Memphis, anybody. In fact, they do play Memphis later on this year, I believe, in Memphis, but they can beat anybody in America on a given night.
Another free throw coming.
Still no press from Mississippi State. I'm surprised. I thought they would come out with their three-quarter court zone press to try to get some easy baskets off the steals.
They were checking on Gordon Cruz, got him with an elbow at the other end. So they were checking to see if Gordon was okay. 6:40, and this Tennessee club up 15 with the basketball. Their lead has not been severely threatened. Yes, Mississippi State did cut it to 9, but just for a fleeting moment. Prince, the high archer, followed in by Cruz.
Well, the Bernardo factor altered that shot. That's a layup against most teams, but the weak side rebounder Cruz freed up for the easy basket.
Gordon to the wing. Stewart. That's a 3.
Well, it's been a while, but Harry Stewart, a very good shooter, knocks one down. Maybe a little bit too late.
He's had his struggles in SEC play from 3. His 3rd tonight. Cruz floats it up over the big man and good. 66-50 Tennessee.
Back to the zone, Bob. Little matchup zone. Rarely used by Tennessee.
Stewart failing it. He's hit 2 in a row. 66-53. But the clock is becoming a factor. 5:35 left. Lofton controlling, and Stewart out to defend. Lofton drives, flips and scores. Gets a layup.
Well, it's a ball screen, but he refuses the ball screen as the defender try to get over it. He goes back the other way.
3 in a row? Yes. But it's still a 12-point game.
Well, they got to have stops, Bob. They're not going to win exchanging baskets. Need stops. Even 3s versus 2s won't get them there.
Under 5 to play.
Tennessee smart, running some clock here.
Lofton pushed by Stewart. Harry's 3rd.
For the Bulldogs, foul 22, Harry Stewart, his 3rd personal,
18 fouls on the Bulldogs, so Lofton with a 1-and-1.
For the Volunteers, number 15, Powell.
Chris coming off the 23-point effort at Alabama earlier in the week. Hit 5 of 9 threes in that game. Been waiting all season for this consensus All-America to really catch fire, and these last 2 weeks he's been the Chris Lofton of old.
Again, Bob, his personality, I don't think Chris is the kind of kid that wants to carry the team offensively. So he kind of backed off earlier in the year and lost an edge, lost his focus. And all of a sudden he realizes that, hey, they need me more, and here's the old Chris Lofton, and that's hard to guard.
Gordon knocks down another 3. Well, the Bulldogs are desperately trying to get back in this with a 3-point barrage. It's still 11. They've got to get some stops. Lofton from behind the screen. They get a stop this time. Rhodes with the rebound. Out to Gordon. Gordon's got the defender backpedaling. The pull-up 3 is no good. Rebound, Rhodes got a hand on it. Still a loose ball. Tipped out to midcourt. Bulldogs have it with Stewart. Under 4 minutes to play in the second half. Gordon. Going in on Prince, gives to Rhodes. He feeds inside for the stop for Bernardo. 70-61 with 3:41 left.
A lot of time left now, Bob. You have to do it with solid defense. Bruce Pearl taking a timeout. together. Bob, if I'm Tennessee, I'm still running clock. I'm looking to score, but it's got to be a great shot early in the possession. If it's not a great shot early in the possession, with 15 seconds or so left, I'm looking to high post ball screen. I'm trying to keep the ball most likely in Lofton's hands, because if he gets fouled, he's automatic from the free throw line.
The total run is 14-6. Mississippi State over the last 2.5 minutes.
Tyler Smith back in now for the Vols as well. Great passer, really good down the stretch of close games with his savvy. And Mississippi State 1-3-1. First time they played this defense the entire basketball game. Extending in the passing lanes.
Tipped. Vols have it. Howell kicks it out. Smith for three. Good. Oh, what a big three for Juwan Smith.
And oh, what a nice pass by Jordan Howell.
Calm and under control. What a great decision. Gordon leaps into the defender. Now has some space. Chisholm out to defend for three. And they finally got it going offensively, Eddie, but they're still down by 9 and 2:55 to play.
Nice change of defense by Rick Stansbury after the last timeout. They go 1-3-1. They almost have it, Bob. And Jordan Howell, easy weak side pass to Juwan Smith, who's come alive here in the second half.
Juwan Smith had only 2 at the half. And look at this Gordon three.
And Jamont Gordon beginning to feel it. And he knocks down another three.
Match to work with Tennessee three.
Be interested to see what defense Mississippi State comes out with. The 1-3-1 gave up the three, but they were within a hair of stealing the basketball. And let's see if they go to a press.
Rick Stansbury wants his guys to get up, but comes too late.
And it's straight man-to-man. Bob, very surprised they didn't try to deny the inbounds pass for a steal and then press back into their half-court man-to-man.
That was almost a 10-second count. That ball crossed the line when the shot clock was at 24. Howell backs it out. Chisholm back to Howell for three. Back iron. Rebound comes to the corner and Rhodes. Now to Gordon. They hit one here, folks. We may have a horse race. Gordon. Go! Can they catch him at the finish line?
It's still raining threes, Bob Rathrum.
An amazing display of marksmanship by Mississippi State. Look at Gordon taking over that huddle. 73-67.
2 defense. Let's see if they come out and guard Juwan Smith and Chris Lofton man-to-man and triangle with the other 3 defenders. Although here's the full court press trying to come up with a steal on the inbounds pass first.
73-67. Here comes Jordan. Howell gets to the corner and a quick three. No good. Rebound Tennessee. It's out of bounds.
You are watching FSN South.
Tennessee leads at 73-67. The Bulldogs mounting a major comeback. Let's show you our Dodge drive of the game. It was off the steal here, and Chris Lofton came up with this bucket for Tennessee. Our Dodge drive of the game. The big story as it's unfolding, Eddie Fogler, has been the Mississippi State three-point weaponry. Yep. They have hit 6 threes in the last 4 minutes of this game.
And only had 3, Bob, at halftime in the first 20 minutes. Some of these threes have been deep and contested. Not real easy to make those threes over and over again. Let's see if Mississippi State now, who doesn't need a 3, down 6 with over 2 to play, maybe looks to go inside to Charles Rhodes for an easy bucket. They're shooting 2 free throws on any foul as well. Don't need a forced 3. They're back in the game.
Down 6 and 2 minutes to go. Here comes Gordon. Gordon driving, and that's going to be an elbow foul on Juwan Smith. Juwan with his 4th foul. It doesn't seem like a big deal earlier in the game when you're missing free throws, but wouldn't you love to have them back now? Mississippi State has missed 12 free throws in this game. 5-point spread. Jordan Howell goes back to get it. Stewart defending. Now Tennessee, we got a whistle and a traveling violation. 1:37 left. (73-68). Gordon, guarded by Juwan Smith. Gordon jumps it inside. Here comes Rhodes. That's rejected by Chisholm. Stansbury screaming for a foul. It never came his way. Howell backs it out with 1:13.
And now Tennessee really should run the clock down. Should not try to attack until 15 or less seconds on the clock.
1 minute.
A minute to go. Lofton. Lofton, tough contested shot and air ball. But the rebound to Tennessee. Now Bernardo has it. Here come the Bulldogs. They have to come quickly with 5 seconds. Gordon tees up Beanock. Now out of the corner for three. They're good! It's a 2-point ball. And how Mississippi State has rallied behind it.
Bob, for Tennessee now, they must, A, get the ball inbounds. They have 3 timeouts left. Any problem for Tennessee on the offensive end, use a timeout. Get it inbounds, put it in the hands of your good free throw shooters. There's 4.2 seconds difference in the game clock and shot clock. If I'm Tennessee, I want to try to run this down as far as I can and then attack the basket. If I'm Mississippi State, I probably look to foul a bad foul shooter. Wayne Chisholm touches the ball. He's on the court. I foul Chisholm, who's a 50% free throw shooter. The other 4 shooters for Tennessee, all good at the free throw line.
A 24-9 Mississippi State run over the last 5.5 minutes has cut this baby down to 2.
And a key point here, Tyler Smith can run the baseline to clear his vision versus this full court Mississippi State press. It's after a field goal. He ought to run the baseline, clear his vision from Rose to make a good, solid, short inbounds pass.
Lofton.
They ought to foul, Bob. They ought to foul, Bob. They ought to foul.
And they do. With 34.3, Chisholm had that ball, and that's the guy you want to put on the line.
My opinion, bad mistake by Tennessee to give the ball up to Wayne Chisholm. You have him in the game, you put him down the end of the court, out of the play. He could not be an outlet in this situation.
He will get 2 free throws. He's 1 of 2 at the line tonight. Oh, that was a 1-and-1. I beg your pardon. That was a 9th team foul, not the 10th. So now, Mississippi State down by 2. Shot clock is on. Gordon kicks to the corner. And a travel. Yes, he did. Beanock shuffled his feet. And Tennessee's going to get it with 17.2.
A lot of time left for Mississippi State. They got to get their heads up, pressure the inbounds pass. They're not even ready to play defense, Bob. And now they have to foul. Hanging their heads after the walk. Not prepared to defend the inbounds play by Tennessee.
So this will be the 10th team foul. And 2 free throws here for Jordan Howell. A 69% foul shooter this year. Tennessee by 2. Tennessee by 3. Now this is the big one.
Still have enough time to take it to the basket and go for 2. Even if they're down 4, if they're down 3, same situation. They have no timeouts left, however.
Here comes Gordon. Bulldogs need a 3 to tie. Can they catch him at the finish line? Gordon to tie it. Tennessee rebounds. And a foul with 3.2.
Wow. Give credit to Mississippi State for battling back in one of the better comebacks I've seen in quite a while.
2 free throws for Jordan Howell to ice it. Just has to make one of 2. And they're headed for the exits at Humphrey Coliseum. Howell with the second free throw, 75-71. 76-71 Tennessee. Stewart with a half-court heave, and the ball game is over. Tennessee wins it, withstanding a furious last-ditch effort from Rick Stansbury's Bulldogs to win it by 5 and take over first place in the SEC East. Wow, what a ball game. An incredible finish. Bruce Pearl's club is now 6-1 in conference play, and the Bulldogs are now 5-2 in the West. Take a look at tonight's fourth edge of your seat moment. If you weren't on the edge of your seat, you weren't paying attention. These threes were just incredible. Eddie Fogler coming down the stretch.
Well, great basketball game, Bob. It's never over till it's over. A lot of heart by Mississippi State to come back. But the Tennessee Vols now 6-1 on the road, leading the SEC Eastern Division. Outstanding job by Bruce Pearl's club in a tough environment.
Tennessee improves to 19-2. But boy, you really have to hand it to the Bulldogs with the way they scrapped back in this ball game. Great finish. And great to have you with us for SEC Saturday night. Again, our final score, Tennessee 76 and Mississippi State 71. For Eddie Fogler and our entire crew here in Starkville, this is Bob Rathbun thanking you for joining us from Mississippi State. So long, everybody.
It started.